One. Hey guys, welcome back to the new video. Today's video is all going to be about sealing the van. Whoa. Hey guys, it's post-editing Lance, and sadly a lot of our files for this video got corrupted. One of our SD cards failed on us, so a lot of our footage was deleted. Well, that's now unrecoverable, so I want to apologize in advance for that if the video seems kind of choppy, but I'm going to try to recreate some of the scenes and some of the videos in it. So yeah, I just want to apologize in advance. So yeah, enjoy the video. Last video was all about pressure washing, cleaning the van, and then after we pressure washed and cleaned it, we noticed a ton of spots inside the van that was getting wet. And things like the windows. See, this window doesn't even have any sealant on it, and there's actually a big hole in the roof, sadly. I don't know if you guys saw it in the pressure washing video, but I kind of like stayed away from it. But I got duct tape patch on it right now, so it doesn't leak any more water, because it had rained actually just yesterday. It was a big rainstorm. And then also that they come like a solar or a little sauna thing that opens up, releases heat, but that thing's also leaking, and they tried to patch it with like some glue. Didn't work very well, so we're gonna go ahead and patch it the right way with the right materials. Climb down the ladder right now. I'm also going to show you the spots where it was actually wet in the van. It's not too bad. Of course this was wet because this is actually just exposed to the elements. Right here, driver's seat was wet because the weather stripping on the door is not good anymore. It's all dry, cracked, and rotted. Back here is where it gets really wet. Shower leaks. I don't know where it's leaking from actually. But right here, on both corners of the fuel pump and just, extra storage, there's actually pooling water right there. And my guess is this is definitely leaking water in that big crack. And all of it, since it's on like an incline, all the water is getting pushed back to here. So I'm gonna cover those, and then it will no longer leak, so we can continue on our process. So I'll cut to that. We're back here now, and we're actually gonna go ahead and fix that fiberglass patch first. So what we're gonna need for the fiberglass patch is, we got this cloth right here. It comes in this package right here, fiberglass cloth. I got it at Home Depot, and we're gonna need fiberglass resin, also at Home Depot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sand down the area, apply the patch, and then we're gonna pour the resin over it. So I'm gonna go ahead and create the resin. So I need about a cup of this resin, I think. And trust me, I'm no professional, so this is my first time doing a fiberglass patch like this. I've done Bondo and all that before, but never fiberglass. So that's, I think I would need that much. And that's about I'd say about a third of the can. So a third of the can, I'm gonna need about maybe a third of the hardener. And this is the hardener right here. But actually, before I put the hardener down, because if I put the hardener down, it's gonna be hard for it to, for me to apply it, I'm actually gonna go ahead and sand down the surface that's up there. They call for an 80 grit sandpaper when sanding down like the area where you're working. All I have is 120, so that is more than enough. 120 is still a good sandpaper for sanding down fiberglass. I gotta be careful for where I stand on this roof, because this roof is fiberglass and it's not good for me to be on it with my feet, so I'm gonna distribute my weight. I'm going ahead and ripping off the old duct tape that I patched it up. So yeah, that's what the hole looks like. Nothing crazy, nothing big, but definitely something where water can get into. You can see Gigi right there. She's scraping off all the old silicone on the windows right now, because that's also something that we need to be doing to seal this. So rip the duct tape off, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sand the area of this thing real quick. So okay, we're done finished sanding with this thing. The area is nice and clean, and also sanding it will help this resin kind of glue to it. So the patches I cut were a little too big, so I'm gonna go ahead and make it smaller because you're gonna want a patch about this size. I'm also gonna stuff cloth inside of it right here, so kind of fiberglass and mold the whole thing. And I'm just gonna pour a ton of resin inside of there. And I actually poured a little too much resin on the cup, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour some in the container as well. So speed up me getting off this thing. You can actually hear the cracking of the fiberglass under me because it's not meant for, you know, people to be standing on it. So, but yeah, I'm still doing it. Okay, so we got our resin. When I look at it, it was a little too much resin, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour some of this resin back into the container because we don't need that much. There you go. That's more like it. Maybe, yeah, that's more than enough resin. So you have these containers, these little cloth pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and cut these down to size. Okay, so now we got the two small patches right here. I'm gonna go ahead and take some extra cloth with me so I can stuff it into the hole, so it'll create a bigger seal. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my pocket right here. So we have the hardener right here, we have the resin over here, so it looks like that. And this is the hardener tube they gave me with these, so when I apply the hardener, liquid hardener, into the silicone, it will actually go ahead and start hardening the resin, so I can go ahead and apply it so it hardens. So I'll say this is about a quarter of the thing, so you need about a quarter of this tube in there. And it's not wanting to come out. Is there a seal on it? There is. Okay. I'll break the seal real quick. Okay. Seal's broken. About a quarter of this tube into the resin hardener. A little more. That's about right. Maybe a little more. There you go. Like I said, I'm not a professional, but I know a little bit of stuff. Maybe a little more. That's good enough with me. Okay, and to mix it, I'm just going to use a screwdriver to mix the resin and the hardener. So okay, now we're back, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. So these are the two small patches that I made, and they're about somewhat of a perfect fit on top of the small hole. So I'm gonna put those patches aside. I'm gonna go ahead and ram in on this leftover cloth I have inside of the hole, so it will just kind of be a better structure for the hole. So there's stuff behind it, kind of packing it in. Go ahead and just pack it in there real good. There you go. Get a little more. I need the knife for this thing, and I don't have it. Yes, please. Can you get me the knife? Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot my knife and I needed to cut some more. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut it. Yeah, I'm cutting it on my jeans. Okay, I'm a professional. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, all I'm doing is just, I'm making filler right now because there is a big decent sized crack in there, and I don't want the patch on sitting on top of it and not having like a good structure or like a foundation to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stuff all of this stuff in there. Go ahead and cut off all those strings. Okay, So I'm gonna go ahead and pour, some of the resin I have right here inside of the hole. You're supposed to use like a little brush to apply the resin, but I'm over here using my finger. I'm just gonna wash my hands after. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw on this patch on top of the resin. There you go. Maybe pour some little more resin on it. And I'm just gonna massage the resin through the cloth into the hole. There you go. Okay, so that's it. That's all the resin over here. I'm going to clean up the edges and all that. And then after this dries, I'll go ahead and I will cut to that. So yeah, I'm going to show you the finished product on the fiberglass patch and also the lap sealant on the thing. I'm on the roof again. So here is the finished product of the fiberglass patch. You can kind of see that. You got your cloth patch in there, you got your fiberglass resin all dried. I already sanded down and I cut a lot of the threads that's hanging off to the side. And then here is the lap sealant all over the solar pass patch. You can see no cracks. There is some little holes, but that should be fine. So yeah, we will have to fill these gutters up with sealant as well because the fiberglass top of the van actually meets the metal shell as when they went ahead and cut it, I guess, for the most part. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fill it with sealant. You can actually see already over here that I used the rest of the lap sealant. You can see the white stuff inside that one. That's the leftover lap sealant I had, so I wouldn't waste it, so I might as well put it in there too. But yeah, that will be done, and the sealant on the windows.
Hi guys, so here's a closer look at what I'm doing. Right now, I'm removing all the old sealant from the windows because it doesn't have a watertight lock anymore and water's leaking into the vehicle. So by doing this, it will create a better surface for the sealant to adhere to, the new sealant that we're going to put on. And then that new sealant will create a watertight lock and there will be no water leaking into the car. So I'm going to use a little screwdriver and a knife to remove the sealant by just basically going like this on the window and then peeling it off with my fingers. And then it's a little time consuming, but it works. So now that we got all the sealant off and we cleaned the surface, we're going to apply new sealant and to the areas that need to be resealed. So we're going to go along and lay a thick coat and then just for example we're going to bring our finger down and even it out. And we're going to do that with all the windows.
So over here, like I said, this is the back of the van. You can see that I actually went ahead and cut a custom piece of wood where that rotten wood was, and I filled it with this expanding foam on each side, and I went ahead and sealed the whole thing as well. And you can see that on top of the window as well, you can see all the silicone, and I had to remove a lot of the, it kind of looked like Bondo, I guess, or like some type of paste. I don't know what's going on here before, but I went ahead, you can kind of see the leftover paste on the metal trim of the window. So I went ahead, oh, come on, Shoshana, I'll put it down. Yeah, what's wrong? I went ahead and removed all that Bondo, I guess, on it. You can kind of see all the silicone right here. So yeah, this back one should be all watertight now. And I went ahead and did all the regular windows as well. So yeah, all the windows are all set for this thing. You see all the silicone right here. The one thing that is recommended with doing these seal jobs is buying new gaskets for the doors. You can see this gasket right here. It's really old. Actually, this one's not too bad, but you can kind of see it's drying right here and cracking. And it's really brittle, so I can rip it just like chunks of it with my hand, and that's not good because it's not going to create a good water seal, and it's also compressed, so when I push it against the door, water could still go from the top of that inside, and it has actually, because that seat has been wet over a big rainstorm and all that. So yeah, those will be done, but maybe a little down the line because it's not a huge problem. So yeah, that's going to conclude the video. I am gonna also apologize for, you know, all the cuts and all the mumbo jumbo because some of the video got, you know, not deleted, but corrupted. So yeah, I appreciate you guys watching the video, and as always, like, comment if you guys like the content, subscribe. It helps us and keeps us motivated with making these kind of videos because they do take some process, and yeah, like I said, you run into little hiccups like I just did then. So yeah, I'll see you guys into the next video. See ya.